What's up, everybody? It's another day, and that means that it's another chance for a win. Driving to work. There's a lot going on right now, and just to back up real quick, when I created Just Win Today, the website, I did that right in the middle of the presidential election and all the things that were going around on Facebook and the negativity, and just things were ugly. And so I came up with this idea for Just Win Today, first of all, just personally what I was going through in my own life, just trying to stay positive and focus on what was good in my life that day. But then also, just thinking about the world around us, we just need something positive right now. And so, coming out of that election, everything was so ugly. I came up with this idea for Just Win Today. And so anyway, everything that's going on in the news right now, the national anthem protest, and you got the veterans. A lot of veterans feel one way, a lot of people feel one way, and then you got people on the other side that feel, another way. And, I don't want to talk about politics on here, but I do want to talk about something that may relate to everything that's going on, but just may relate to where you're at today in your own life. When I was growing up, my grandpa lived next door to a family. They had a boy that was a year younger than me. He used to come over and play with us all the time. This kid was really overweight. Okay, he got picked on a lot. We rode the same school bus and everything. He's really overweight. So, long story short, one day this kid did something to me while we were playing, and I punched him. Okay, and I punched this kid so hard that he fell off of a trampoline. And he was extremely overweight, so when he fell off the trampoline, his leg got hooked in the trampoline in such a way that he couldn't fall all the way to the ground, but then he was so heavy that we couldn't pick him back up. And so, long story short, we had to flip the trampoline over to let him down. And so when my grandpa got home, he heard about this, and he asked me, he said, "David, why did you do that?" And I told my grandpa what he did, and it was pretty bad. But Grandpa was like, David, think about what that guy goes through on a day-to-day basis. Think about what his life's got to be like. People probably tease him and make fun of him a lot. Put yourself in his shoes and imagine being that person every day. And then you might think a little different. And so my grandpa gave me this great advice. And my grandpa was probably the person in the whole world that I looked up to the most. And so when my grandpa told me this, even to this day, I've never forgot that. I'm an educator. I was a teacher and a coach for a lot of years, and a principal, and now I'm a superintendent. And, in the field of education, I see that all the time with kids who, they may be struggling with something, and especially from my vantage point where I'm the superintendent, I don't have to be around that kid on a day-to-day basis in the classroom with that kid every day, where a teacher might start to get frustrated. And I give that advice to kids all the time. I give that advice to teachers all the time. I actually walked in and told this exact same story to a class last week. Just put yourself in that person's shoes, because there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. And so as that relates to everything that's going on in the world around us right now, sometimes we should just put ourselves in the other person's shoes. And that goes for everybody on both sides, it's easy to say, well, I've had this struggle and things have been this hard on me. Well, maybe things were hard on somebody else too. And, we all got bills to pay. That's one thing about it. And then on the other side, instead of looking at these people and judging them and saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Sometimes put yourself in their shoes and say, maybe there's a reason they're doing what they're doing. Right, wrong, or whatever. You don't have to agree with it, but at least listen to that person and say, wow, I never thought about it that way. And so, I'm very blessed and very fortunate. I grew up in a place where a lot of that didn't matter. We all went to school together. We all played ball together. Didn't matter what color you were. We were all friends. And so I'm very blessed that I grew up in a place like that, where that has served me well as an adult, where I've had to live and work in different places with different races. I lived in South Florida for a year, where I was the only white person in my whole apartment complex, so You know, like I said, I've been on both sides of it. I've been the minority, and I don't like to talk about politics on here because we try to keep things positive, and it's hard to stay positive when you're talking about things that are going on in the political world. But that's my advice to everybody today. You know, maybe take a step back, maybe stop believing everything you read on social media, and just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And you know, I would just ask in the comment section, if you can relate to what I'm talking about, maybe give a positive word of encouragement in the comment section, or maybe give an example of something that's happened to you in your life where you've had to be in a situation like I'm talking about, and somebody was good to you, or somebody was understanding of you. So that's what I would ask you to do. You know, just, I think that there's a lot more good in the world than there is negativity, and we need to share that and celebrate it. So if you like that, if you like what I said, just share it. If you got something good that you'd like to share, write it in the comments. Check out the website, justwintoday.com. And everybody have an awesome day. Try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And I tell you what, it'll give you a whole new perspective on your day. So everybody have a good day. JWT.